Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I am doing the Unpopular Opinions book tag. I've seen this one a couple of times around BookTube and it just seems like fun because it's not quite trying to offend somebody, but regardless it offends somebody. I decided to do this tag just because it sounded like fun. So let's get into it. Also, I will leave the originals link down below if you want to check it out. The first question is a popular book or series that you didn't like. For this one I went with Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. It's not a bad book and it gets better in the second, but this book just did not strike me as worth any of the hype that was going around about it when it first came out. It is about three queens who have to kill each other in order to be the queen of this tiny island nation. And it just seemed dull and boring and didn't strike me at all when I read it. I do have the second one and I kind of plan on continuing because I want to know if it gets any better. Also, I don't like leaving series unfinished, but the first one was by far not my favorite. Question 2 is a book or series that everyone else hates but you love. I couldn't really think of one, so I looked for some suggestions on other people's tags, and I came up with The Red Queen. It's not that I love the series, because I recognize that it's hugely problematic and there's so many tropes in there, but I do enjoy it. I have the fourth book, haven't read it yet, but I am interested to figure out who ends up where and with who, because there's a lot of swapping in that book series, but everybody else seems to hate it with a passion, and I definitely don't hate it. Number 3 is a love triangle where the person ended up with the wrong person, or an OTP you just don't like. For this one I went with The Infernal Devices. If you haven't read them, skip ahead until I'm done talking about this book. But I didn't like how she ended up essentially with both of them. I mean, really? For the love of everything that is holy, why would you have her end up with both of them? You pick one of them or you don't do a love triangle. But if you've been with me at all for a little bit, you know that I abhor love triangles with a passion of 1,000 suns. So there's that. Number 4 is a popular book genre that you don't generally reach for. I'm gonna wait for you to guess it. Right! YA contemporaries. There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't like contemporaries in general, and especially YA contemporaries, because they tend to be fluffy romance, and I don't do fluffy romance. I just don't. Number 5 is a beloved character that you don't like. I couldn't come up with an answer for this one either, because usually it's an entire series that I don't like, as opposed to 1 or 2 characters. So for the series, I really hate the Selection series by Kiara Cass. As you may know by now, I abhor Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. Can't stand it. I don't think any of the characters in there are good. But those are series as opposed to characters. Number 6 is popular author that you can't seem to get into. And I actually have 3 for this. The first one is V. Schwab. I haven't tried reading any of her books, primarily because they just don't interest me. The Darker Shades of Magic sounds vaguely interesting, but not interesting enough for me to go out and get it and actually try to read it. The second author is Morgan Rhodes. I've read Falling Kingdoms and I own the next 3 books in the series, but it just is not worthy of any of the hype that that series gets either. As I've said, I'll finish it because I own them and I'd rather have read them, but it just doesn't do anything for me. And the last one is sort of Leigh Bardugo. I've read Six of Crows? Six of Crows versus Crooked Kingdoms, sorry, squishing them. I've read Six of Crows, and I thought it was a good book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but it's not something that had me running to read the rest of them. Although I do own Crooked Kingdoms and the Grisha trilogy. So I own them, I think it's been over a year since I read Six of Crows. So it's clearly not something that really gets my heart going. Number 7 is a popular trope you're tired of seeing. I'm quite positive that a fair number of people have also said this: love triangles. And if you didn't see that answer coming, I don't know where you were on question number 3. Number 8 is a popular series you have no interest in reading. And this one harkens back to popular authors you're not really interested in, because I don't really care about the Dark Duet Savage Song duology. People really rave about it, and it sounds like a vaguely interesting premise, but not interesting enough for me to have even remembered what it was after the first time I read the back. And also my friend Katie read it and said that it was really disappointing. And I trust her opinion, so if she didn't like it, there's no way I'm gonna waste my time with it. And number 9, the saying goes, the book is always better than the movie. But what movie adaptation or TV adaptation do you like better than the book? To be honest, there isn't one. I haven't seen Game of Thrones, although I expect the TV show probably is better than the book just because the books are not particularly well written. I like the books better no matter what, otherwise, because there's so much more description and so much more going on in the books. Those are all of the questions for this tag. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're offended, that's the point of the tag. Go for it. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up down below. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button down below. As always, I will leave my Goodreads linked in the down bar if you want to check out what I read. But until my next video, bye.